Hey, this is Mike Salander, Chicago Digital, and today I'm excited to share with you some things that I've learned as part of the sales process in talking with a lot of potential clients about creating new websites. So there's this one question that I often get comments from referrals or just prospects in general, really, about a question that really they feel very thankful for. And that is this question of how will I know if the project is successful? And I like to usually start out with the discovery meetings asking this question because it's a really important question. And to highlight the importance of that, I want to tell a little bit of a backstory. So I was back in college, I did an internship for General Electric, and I had a great summer there. Amazing experience, great people, had a wonderful time, and I was so just excited and amped up about the experience coming back into fall the next year. And I remember I was just telling another student about it in one of my classes, and just about like how great it was, like how much I accomplished, how awesome I was. I don't know, I was probably boasting a little bit just because I was excited. And I remember the teacher coming over and saying something to me that I've never forgotten. And that was, well, how did you know that your internship was successful? I said, well, what do you mean? Like, I did this, this, and this, and this. He's like, but what was the measurements? Like, what was the criteria in which you evaluated ahead of time whether or not this project was going to be successful? And I just looked at him, and I didn't have an answer. I'm like, that concept was new. What do you mean? Like, I thought I could just work hard and accomplish a bunch of stuff. You mean I actually had to have some sort of tangible criteria, a way to reflect back and know whether or not like this was actually successful? So that was a big eye opener. I think this is a really key thing. I think a lot of times we just hope that we put in a lot of work, we put in a lot of effort, that things are people are going to appreciate, they're going to like it, and then it's just going to be successful without really challenging ourselves to think through, well, what does failure mean? What does success mean in this? And how am I able to tangibly measure these results and reflect upon them? So this is really important when you're talking with potential clients. They really appreciate the fact that you are asking this question and care to make sure that the project is successful. And it's really important for the whole process to know whether or not we are accomplishing the goals and we are going after the right thing with the project. So a lot of times, the main answer is most likely going to be around getting new clients. But this is a great place to quantify that. What does new clients mean? Is that 2 new clients a month? Is that 20 new clients a month? Because not every business can handle necessarily unlimited new clients. For some, it's increased brand exposure, and that might be measured in certain metrics, like maybe page visits, or maybe it's views or likes on social media, for example. For others, sometimes it's not necessarily quantitative. Maybe most of their business is referral based, and the website is really just to validate referrals that they're already talking to in person, and their measurement for success is the number of positive comments they receive from their existing clients and prospective clients. But no matter what the answer is, it is really important to ask this question. It will help you stand out from the competition if they're not asking this question, and really provides a more personal discovery session so we can really unlock what's important to the client. Just on another note with this is, another way you can reframe this question, which I often do, instead of saying, how will you know if this project is successful? I like to walk the prospective client through the process as if they've agreed to work with us, and help them really see themselves in that collaboration, in that process. So instead of saying, how will, you say, all right, let's assume that we're working together, or 6 months after we've completed this project together is a great way to frame it. 6 months later, after, what criteria will you use to look back upon this project to know whether or not it was successful. So that's a really great tactic, to not be presumptuous, but to start planting the seed in the mind of the client that they will be working with you. And so this tactic was actually used on me as when I was a client to great success, and just want to share that experience with you briefly. So last year, Amanda and I, my fiance, we were going out and looking for wedding venues, and there's a lot of great wedding venues that we looked at, and a lot of them had their different strengths and weaknesses. But then the one that we ended up really going with, from the very beginning to the end, we were mesmerized. We knew, we just felt that this was the place. And what was it that they did differently? Well, from the moment that they greeted us and walked in, they treated us as if we were already a client, and they were just going to walk through and show us what our wedding could be like. And they positioned everything as in, not like they were selling to us, but they were helping, like, again, they were helping us see, they were helping us envision, they were putting us in the moment. And they really crafted this great narrative as we walked and toured the entire thing, and that really helped solidify that place in our mind as a decision. And so, doing websites and building some business stuff, maybe not always as exciting and emotional as finding a wedding venue, but regardless, I think that sort of strategy can really help. All right, so a sneak peek I want to show you guys. Really excited about this new brand, this new logo that Brian Mulholland, our senior designer, is putting together. Here's a few different options that we've presented to the client, Go West Beers, who's working on distributing beers from the West Coast of the United States over to other parts, and hopefully Chicago as well. So we can start tasting a lot of West Coast beers. Anyways, so we always start in the logo process with black and white, because a strong logo, strong identity really needs to stand in black and white. It can't just be a great concept with color. So we start with the black and white concepts, and here you see a hot buffalo, which is a really cool creative concept that I love Brian put together. We had another option that's a little bit more conservative, but still really, really awesome. And then the third one, which kind of brings in some of the beer, like icons and some West symbols of the wheel, together with some awesome typography here as a third choice. So all great choices. Excited to see which one the client ends up picking and going with, and the logo fully fleshed out. But wanted to share that kind of behind the scenes with you guys here as a little bonus. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys again shortly.